Here is the short answer to today's question. An AI answer engine never quotes your whole page. It lifts one passage, usually a single, self-contained sentence or a short block, and shows that as the citation. So the job is not to write a great page in general. The job is to build the page out of clean, labeled sections, each containing one quotable sentence the engine can pick up and drop straight into its answer. Let me show you on a real site. This is typelessform.com. Watch how this page is built. It is not one long scroll of text. It is a series of clear sections, each with its own heading and its own self-contained point. Think of each section as a handle. When an engine wants to answer a question, it reaches for the handle that matches, grabs that section, and quotes from it. A page with no handles gives the engine nothing to hold. Here is the contrast that matters. On the left, a wall of text. One enormous paragraph that says everything and surfaces nothing. On the right, the same information broken into labeled sections. The wall of text might contain the perfect answer somewhere in the middle, but the engine cannot find a clean boundary to quote, so it skips it. The sectioned page hands over the answer on a plate. Same content, completely different result. Inside each section, the pattern is simple. The heading states the question in the customer's own words. The very first sentence under it gives the direct answer to exactly that question, in a way that makes sense even if you read nothing else on the page. That is the key word, self-contained. If the sentence only makes sense in context, the engine cannot quote it alone. If it stands on its own, it travels into the answer intact. Watch what self-contained means in practice. The first version says, it does this automatically. Quoted alone, that sentence is useless. What is it? What is this? The second version says, type less form fills web forms automatically from your voice. Quoted alone, it still works. It names the thing, the action, and the how all in one sentence. Write every key sentence so it could be screenshotted and still make complete sense. There is also a length limit worth respecting. Claude, when it quotes a source, caps the quoted text at around 150 characters. If your key sentence is longer than that, it gets truncated, and a truncated quote loses its punch. So tighten your most important sentence until the single most valuable fact fits inside about 150 characters. Short, complete, and standing on its own. That is the citable atom. The format that performs best across engines is the simplest one. One question, one answer, one block. A frequently asked questions layout is the clearest example, but you do not need the FAQ label. Any section that poses a real question as its heading and answers it cleanly in the first sentence is doing the same job. Build your most important pages this way, and you give every engine a clean target on every topic you care about. So here is the recipe for a quotable page. 1. Break the page into labeled sections, never a wall of text. 2. Make each heading a real customer question. 3. Answer it in the first sentence, fully self-contained. 4. Keep that sentence under about 150 characters. Do those 4 things on your 10 most important pages, and you have handed every answer engine exactly what it needs to quote you instead of a competitor. That is how you structure a page so AI can quote it. Sections as handles, headings as questions, a self-contained answer, and the first sentence kept short. Structure is not a style choice. It is how you physically hand the engine the quote. And if your market is Polish or German, write each heading and its answer natively in that language because the engine matches a native question to native words, not to a translation. In the next episode, I will zoom into that very first sentence and show you the 40 to 60 word answer first paragraph that does more for citation than anything else on the page. If you want us to check whether your pages are quotable, the first audit is free. The link is in the description and pinned in the first comment. This is WebAppski. Thanks for watching.